We've had another warm day here in the eastern part of KELOLAND, but we're watching what's going on out to the west. Look at Rapid City. Thunderstorms are increasing in number and in intensity, and a flood watch is now in effect in the Black Hills area and western South Dakota really through Saturday. Overnight tonight, Sioux Falls, we think will stay dry, 66. Better chances of some thunder showers to the north, Aberdeen 67. Pier, good chance of thunder later on. And Rapid City, of course, that flood watch is now in effect. For your day tomorrow, it's going to be mostly cloudy across the KELOLAND region. Highs will be in the mid-80s, and thunderstorms most likely in western South Dakota. Sioux Falls, we could see some from the afternoon hours on. Sioux Falls' best chance of rain looks like Saturday. Details on that weekend coming up. KELOLAND U starts now.
Live from KELOLAND Media Group, KELOLAND News first at 4.
6 Mitchell Legion baseball players are facing charges of rape following an investigation into allegations of a sexual assault.
Plus, we have the latest from Washington, D.C. as former President Donald Trump is arraigned in person.
And later, downtown Sioux Falls is calling on you to volunteer to help make 2 upcoming events fun for the whole community. Good afternoon, and thanks for tuning in to First at 4. I'm Don Jorgensen.
And I'm Kelly Volk. The Pennington County State's Attorney's Office has filed rape charges against 6 Mitchell Legion baseball players. The players range in age from 17 to 19 years old. According to a release from the Pennington County State's Attorney's Office, the charges involve 2 separate victims.
The release also says that charges are pending in juvenile court against 3 other people, and because they're juvenile court proceedings, they are closed to the public. Their names will not be shared. Additional charges are also being considered for other adults affiliated with the team who are alleged to have had knowledge of these crimes.
Mitchell's post-18 varsity Legion baseball program ended last month, not long after the Attorney General and DCI announced they were looking into the complaints. Coming up on KELOLAND News at 6, Dan will talk with the Pennington County State's Attorney about the charges. 2 people are facing charges of child sex trafficking and producing child pornography. Court documents say between 2020 and 2021, Richard Allen Kucera and Ivy Rose Heron forced a child into a commercial sex act. Authorities also say Kucera took pictures of a child engaging in sexual acts to distribute the photos. Investigators say these allegations happened in Winter. If convicted, they could face up to life in prison.
Game Fish and Parks is trying to find the people responsible for vandalism inside bathrooms at Lake Andes. Wildlife officers received a tip on July 22nd that all 3 comfort stations at North Point Campground were vandalized. GF&P says that toilet paper dispensers were destroyed while toilet paper was all over the walls, floors, doors, and ceilings. Soap dispensers and 2 mirrors were also broken. 1 mirror was removed and found on the side of the road. Anyone with information on these vandalisms should call Game Fish and Parks.
Well, we had another toasty day out there.
Yeah, not bad. We got some sunshine, but it sounds like western South Dakota tonight could get a little sketchy.
That's not wrong, Don and Kelly. We're watching some rain and thunder showers pop up this afternoon. They will increase as we go through this evening. Right now in Sioux Falls, 91 degrees with some partly cloudy skies. East winds are at 7 miles an hour. And in Aberdeen, watching a few thunder showers in the area, 90 degrees. East winds are at 8 miles an hour. Here's a look at some of our other temperatures. 88 in Mitchell, 91 in Watertown, 88 in Mobridge, and 73 in Custer. On KELOLAND Live Doppler radar, you can see those thunder showers slowly popping up. There is one just south of Groton producing a little bit of lightning and dying down now as we go through the afternoon. Nothing is severe. In western South Dakota, we do have that line from about the Nebraska border up to the North Dakota border. All of these are producing lightning, but nothing is severe as we head to the afternoon. And over the Black Hills, plenty of lightning there coming between Cheyenne Crossing and Dumont as these storms head to the north. There is a flash flood watch posted through Saturday evening. The potential is there for heavy rainfall that could lead to flash flooding as we go through this afternoon and evening. For tonight, partly cloudy and 66 in Sioux Falls, 66 in Aberdeen, 69 in Pierre, and 62 in Rapid City. The best chance tonight for rain and thunderstorms is in western and central South Dakota, trying to reach into northeastern KELOLAND as we go through the evening. Also for tonight, a marginal risk of severe weather. Large hail and strong winds are possible. We'll take a closer look at the storms for the weekend in just a little bit.
All right, thanks, Megan. Happening right now, former President Donald Trump has pleaded not guilty to federal conspiracy charges, accusing him of plotting to subvert the will of voters and overturn his 2020 election loss.
Natalie Brand is at the federal courthouse with the latest.
Donald Trump arrived in Washington, D.C. and then traveled by motorcade to a federal courthouse. This is the former president's first court appearance to face unprecedented charges related to the January 6th Capitol attack and what prosecutors allege was a sweeping scheme to overturn the 2020 election. Trump pleaded not guilty to 4 felony counts, including conspiracy to defraud the United States and conspiracy to obstruct an official proceeding. Outside the courthouse, security is tight. The city even pulling snowplows out of storage to bolster the fence line. Here on the sidewalk outside of the courthouse, there are both supporters of the former president and those demonstrating against him. Some people even traveling from out of state to be here for this historic hearing. Trump himself weighed in ahead of the hearing, saying he's going to Washington to, quote, be arrested for having challenged a corrupt, rigged and stolen election.
Essentially, his defense is going to be, I fully had the right to contest an election that I knew or I was convinced was rigged. And so part of the challenge here is to prove that, no, this was in fact a fraud.
Special counsel Jack Smith says he's seeking a speedy trial, but Trump's legal team has signaled they will seek delays as the former president now faces charges in 3 separate cases. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
Now, Trump is the only person charged in the case, but prosecutors reference 6 unnamed co-conspirators, mostly lawyers that they say he plotted with.
Ballistic experts will fire up to 139 rounds at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School tomorrow during a reenactment of the 2018 Parkland massacre. This is part of a lawsuit that accuses a sheriff's deputy of failing to protect the victims. Now, during the reenactment, technicians outside the building will record the sounds of the shots, seeking to capture what the deputy assigned to the school heard during the 6-minute attack. The shooting that left 17 people dead sparked a nationwide movement for gun control. The gunman, Nicholas Cruz, pleaded guilty in 2021 and was sentenced to life in prison.
Saudi Arabia says it will extend its cut of $1 million of oil a day through the end of September. The cut started in July. The extension comes as the other OPEC producers have agreed to extend earlier production cuts through next year. The move was widely expected by analysts. Benchmark Brent crude traded at over $80 a barrel.
More than 100 soldiers from the Iowa National Guard are heading to the U.S. southern border. Governor Kim Reynolds deployed the troops in support of Operation Lone Star in Texas. A news release from the governor's office says that the soldiers will be there until September 1st to deter people from crossing the border illegally and prevent trafficking of illegal substances. Later this month, Iowa State Patrol officers will also be deployed to Texas to help with crime prevention, traffic enforcement, and other investigations.
There's another place in Minnesota that's now selling recreational marijuana. The dispensary on the White Earth Reservation started selling weed today. The store's website shows that it sells cannabis flower, pre-rolls, and merchandise. The Red Lake Nation opened the first recreational store in Minnesota with people lining up hours before it opened. Most private businesses across Minnesota are not able to sell recreational marijuana at this time because the state office designed to oversee the sale and management isn't fully operational. Tribal nations are considered sovereign governments and can start the sale of marijuana right away. Still to come, we look at how much food is wasted in Minnesota and what's being done to prevent good food from ending up in the landfill.
And